Whether you are a hardcore Battlefield fan or you are just picking up the series, you probably already know that they are taking it to World War II for Battlefield 5. And there's really nothing wrong with that at all for me. I mean, every Battlefield game pretty much plays the same in my personal opinion. Even if they up the kill time, lower the kill time, change the map design, whatever they want to do to the game, Battlefield still has its play style, unlike Call of Duty where it can be easily manipulated and changed in multiple ways. Battlefield doesn't really go through that. Battlefield still has that same excitement, same Battlefield moments that I pretty much have in every Battlefield title. Now, the real question is DICE making one too many similar old titled video games? And when I mean old titled video games, I mean pretty much every old war coming from World War I and World War II. I mean, we haven't really seen a modern day title or even a futuristic title in a very long time now. Now, from looking back on my past experience with the other titles, it's a bad idea to stick your player base in the same time period or the same type of gameplay for too long. You will basically lose their interaction and they won't enjoy the game too much anymore. Take Call of Duty for example. They went to a futuristic time period. Not bad, but what they did is they limited you with jetpacks. Jetpacks weren't even that bad, to be honest with you. They were pretty fun in specific ways when you look back on it. But what killed it was being able to play it 3 years straight. I mean, they literally shoved it in your face for 3 years. They did not change it up whatsoever. And I really do not want to see Battlefield go down this path. I mean, Battlefield is a great series, and I will enjoy Battlefield 5, and I will enjoy playing in a World War II theme, but are we going to lose a lot of the player base? Now, the time period of Battlefield isn't the only thing that will attract people to the game. I mean, if you've been playing Battlefield forever, there's things to the game that attract you to it. Being on, quote-unquote, the battlefield, dealing with all the vehicles that are on there, the amount of weapons that you have to mess with, the attachments, the roles that you can play, whether it's a medic, support, assault, being a scout. There is so many different things to Battlefield that make it a Battlefield game, and the reason why everybody enjoys it. So the time period isn't the only thing that affects how this game plays. As long as they bring all that stuff over, which obviously they're going to bring it into Battlefield 5, then the game should still be great and still have a solid player base. Now here is where it gets tricky. Yes, Battlefield does play off of many of those factors that I just mentioned, with it being with the vehicles, how the Battlefield actually plays out, the amount of weapons, attachments, all of that stuff plays into how Battlefield plays and how people enjoy the game itself. But the time period that they decide to make this game in also affects how this game will play out. You can't put helicopters in a World War I shooter. That will mess with how it actually was. I mean, there was nothing like that in World War I, so why are they going to put that in a World War I, basically trying to be historically correct, Battlefield shooter? Same with World War II. You can't just sit there and say, you know what, I want to put a SCAR in World War II. It's not happening because that weapon was never in World War II, and the fan base is just going to explode in rage. So when they're making all these factors to how they make the attachments, the weapons, the vehicles, and just the overall game, they have to stay historically correct with the games that they're making in the time period. So if they're going World War I, they have to make it historically correct to World War I. World War II, same thing. Historically correct to World War II. When we're playing Battlefield 5, we're going to be mostly seeing, you know, airplanes, the tanks that were in World War II, the weapons that were mostly iconic in World War II. We're not going to be seeing anything from modern day and up in this game. Now, a lot of you guys are probably already sitting there scratching your heads saying, well, why does this even matter? Who cares if, you know, anything from modern day isn't going to be in this game? It's World War II for a reason. I'm hype. I'm ready to just play a Battlefield that's set in World War II. And you're not wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going back to World War II. I mean, as long as the gunplay is solid, I mean, a lot of people are probably going to enjoy this game. I think a lot of people that didn't enjoy Battlefield 1, it was because of the fact that it was World War I, and the fact that a lot of the weapons were semi-automatic, they weren't that powerful, the ranges were a little a little strange. A lot of the fights were in open terrains where you have to use hillsides and rocks and a lot of broken down cover to use. It was a little bit of a picky game, but it probably has to be the best representation of World War I that I've ever seen in a shooter. I mean, DICE always does good with how they make their Battlefield games, but I mean, come on now. World War I, that's a pretty hard one to actually master and allow a lot of people to still enjoy the title. Now, personally, I don't think Battlefield is going to die out. I mean, even though that they're still keeping it in the past and we're going to World War II, I don't think that's necessarily what will kill Battlefield. In order to kill Battlefield, I think that you have to strip the game completely. And when I mean strip the game, I mean take out pretty much everything that makes Battlefield Battlefield. You gotta take the classes out of the game or switch them. You gotta take all the customizations out of the game, all the different weapon mods that you can add on to them. You just got to basically scrap this game and start something new in order to make Battlefield fans not like it anymore. But the thing that worries me is another title coming out and taking away Battlefield fans. Just like Call of Duty, they spent way too many years messing around in the futuristic era that now Fortnite came along and more than half of their frickin' population is cut down and have gone to Fortnite. Call of Duty is almost completely dead, which is sad to say, and I don't know if there's any reviving factor. Black Ops 4 is looking really solid, but this might be their last chance to even revive the game. They need to have a solid multiplayer. Hope this Battle Royale mode can kick Fortnite out of the Battle Royale's theme, and just hopefully pray for the best. But Battlefield is still strong. I mean, World War II isn't going to be that bad. I think the gunplay is going to be fun, the weapons are going to be fun, vehicles, the maps, the destruction, everything about this game is looking very, very solid, and I'm super hyped to play it. But sadly, I still don't think that World War II is going to bring back the whole fan base of Battlefield. Like I said, people just prefer the modern day theme, and they don't really care too much for all these old style games. They prefer being able to use modern day equipment, and honestly, I think modern day Battlefields have more action than the past day Battlefields do. They hold a lot more inside the game, weapon-wise, value-wise, and just action-wise. There's so much to do in each of these titles, and I think people just enjoy that in these modern-day Battlefield games. So the question, is Battlefield dying, is a tricky one. It's kind of hard to answer, because Battlefield is not dying, but I think a lot of people are taking a break, which isn't good for the numbers of Battlefield, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're dying. It still gives them a chance to revive the title. And like I keep saying, I don't want anybody to hate me for saying that Battlefield is dying, because by no means is Battlefield dying. There's still people playing it. Battlefield 1 is still populated, and the hype for Battlefield 5 is insane. But I think a lot of people are not really happy with the direction that they're taking this game into World War II right now. I think a lot of people were hoping, including myself, for a modern day shooter, or even a futuristic shooter. Just anything to push us a little bit forward, to have more vehicles, more different type of weapons, and just a faster paced, action-packed video game compared to World War II, which is going to be a little bit more different than a modern day shooter, obviously. So no, Battlefield is not completely dead right now, but I do believe if they decide not to make a modern day shooter for the next Battlefield after Battlefield 5, I think there's going to be some bad things happening in the Battlefield franchise, and I think a lot of people are not going to be happy. So World War II is not a bad spot for Battlefield right now. I think this game is going to be fire and a lot of fun. But this is it. This is it for the past games. I think after this we need to see something different, something more modern to spice things up in the Battlefield games. So hopefully they do that for the next title. But that is it for this video, everyone. I want to thank you for tuning in as always, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Comment down below on what you personally think is going to happen to Battlefield. Are they still thriving, or are they dying? What do you think? I mean, World War II is not a bad thing for them to go to, but I do miss modern day, and I think a lot of other people miss modern day as well. But leave your opinions down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel as always if you enjoy the content, and hit that bell button to be notified for all of my videos so you just know when they're up and live. And of course you could be the first person to view it, right? But anyways, thank you for stopping by on this video. I appreciate it as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.